Now that we have successfully um, created our base case model, the next step is now to look at the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. So here I'm going to add another worksheet. And determine the worst case. I'm going to start with the worst case CF, the cash flows for the worst case scenario. So the worst case scenario and the best case scenario, all of them are based on the best case scenario. So the best case scenario or the best case model is like the foundation. Then from the foundation, you begin to put together other parts of the model. So how do I do it? It's very simple. Once you get all your things correct under the base case model, it's easy, right? So I come now under cell A1. I simply click equals to. I go under base case CF. I want to copy everything under the base case model, under the base case CF. So if I okay let me come back here. Right, I want cell A1, then I press enter. So once I have cell A1 for right for the worst case CF, what I now need to do is I now need to uh, go back to the base case CF and see the range for the columns and also the range for the cells. So if I go down, I see that I have to come back to A28, then T28. So I come back, I copy up to A28, I copy down up to A28. Okay, I simply drag and copy everything. Then I now go up to T28, up to cell T28. Okay, up to T28. Then I release there. Okay, so I have copied the base case model, but there are only one or two things that I have to change here. Under parameter, I now come and say under the worst case scenario, we have been told that under the worst case, our revenue, our revenue decreases, right? Revenue decrease. It decreased by how much? It decreased by 10%. So the factor that I would use for the revenue would be if I assume that the base case is 100%. So if I decrease by 10%, it means my revenue would be 90%, which is 0.90. Right? That's the factor for the revenue. Then the costs, I also assume that my costs under the worst case scenario, the costs would increase by 10%. So if I have 100%, if I increase by 10%, it means the factor that I will have is what? Is 1.10. Right. So I'm going to affect all my cash flows with these two parameters. With these two parameters, that is the revenue would decrease by 0.9, and also the cost would increase by 1.1. Right? So I now come and edit the formula. The formula says base case CF. Then I have to multiply this. I have to multiply this by B2, by B2. So I'm multiplying by cell B2, right? I now come back. I have to drag this formula. As I go, right? I drag up to the end, up to 2036, right? Up to 2036, as you can see. right? Everything is changing, right? Everything is changing. Okay, then I also have to change the formula there and say equals to sum, right? This one up to 2019, up to 2019. Then I press enter. Okay, all right. There's a ref there. Let me come to my formula. It should be up to S. All right. Okay. Right, don't worry about that message there. So from B5 up to S5. Okay. All right, I now come to the costs. I now come to the costs. The costs are supposed to increase by 1.1. Okay, so I just do the same, multiplied by it's now C2. It's now C2. Right, it's now C2. I multiply there by C2. Right, I have to drag that formula up to here. Okay, uh, still I do the same. So you factor in 1.1 across. So I'm just going to pause the video slightly, then I complete all the other remaining course and resume. Okay, as you can see on the formula bar there, I've edited all the costs. I've edited all the costs. Right. Um, Now I need to determine the total annual cost, right? The total annual cost, the total annual cost for for right, for the worst case scenario. So I need to come and change the formula equals to sum, right? I just need to come and change the formula. Right, I would start from here, then I go down, then press enter. Okay, right, so this is the total cost. Then I have to drag this up to up to column S, up to column S, right? The next thing now is I also have to determine the annual cash flow, the annual cash flow, the annual cash flow. That is revenue equals to revenue minus total revenue minus total cost. So the revenue for 2019 minus the cost minus the total annual cost, right? Then I simply drag through. I simply drag up to column S, up to column S, right? I drag up to column S. Then my duty as well here is to calculate uh, the total O and M, and also the total O and M, and also because the O and M, that's what we are using for our OPEX, the operational expenditure, and also the total or the grand total for the total annual cost, then the overall project profitability, the overall project profitability, something that we also have to determine. All right. Okay, allow me to come and show you how it's done. It's just the same way as how we did it under the best case model. Okay, so here that's the total for the O and M. You can just cross check the formula there. Then this is the total for the that's the total annual cost for the project. Then we have the overall project profitability. You can cross check there. Then let me just do just a bit of some formatting to make sure that the work looks a bit nice. So after some formatting, this is how my work looks now, looks like now. Okay, you guys, because you've got a lot of time, you can use color coding. Color coding is very important, especially in financial modeling. So I now have my uh, worst case CF. The next step now is to determine the worst case CCF. So I now come over here and add another sheet, which I will rename to worst case CCF. Worst case CCF, right? Um, like I told you, the worst case is based on the base case. So I will simply come and say equals to base case CCF, such that um, I don't need to take the information once again. Okay, I press enter. I don't such that I don't have to type the information again. Then I now go back to the base case CF and see the range for the column, right? And also for, because I want to take everything including this table, so I'll come over, that's to number 20, row number 20, and also H20. So I come over worst case, okay, worst case, right, I have to copy up to H there. Then I go down to number 20. I go down to number 20, such that I copy everything, from the base case CCF. Okay, right. What I now need to do over here is just to make sure everything remains put. Then under the cash flow, I have to change the source of the cash flow. Now the cash flow, I don't want to take the base case cash flow, but I have to take the worst case cash flow that I have just determined. So how do I do that? I simply come and say equals to worst case CF, worst case CF. I come over here over the annual cash flow, right? I pick it up like that by pressing enter. Okay, so I have my cash flow for year one for 2019. All right. So I have to repeat the process until I have all the cash flows, that just like the same thing I did under the base case model. Under the base case model, okay, I now come and take this one. Okay, I take, all right. So I'm going to pause a bit. Okay, one trick that I have noted is if you come over here, you can come and fix this part. You can come and put a dollar sign just after B, a dollar sign, just to fix that row where you say you are taking under the worst case cash flow, but you want to maintain the row, but you the column or the column letters should change. So if I press enter here, if I press enter, right, I take this, I drag it down, I drag this down, okay, right. As you can see, I have 68.75. Okay, so you now need to come now and change here and put a C, right, and put a C. Then you know that this is the next is column D. Okay, the next is column E, the next is column E, the next is column F, the next is column F, as you go. But as you can see, from column E, from E, the number doesn't change, it remains 175.50. So even if you copy, here, it doesn't make any difference, Then I now need to come and determine the cumulative cash flow equals to that one, right? I now need to come and determine the cumulative cash flow equals to this one, all right, plus this one, right? Then I drag this formula down, I drag this formula right, down. All right, so I now have my 1642.50 as the okay cumulative cash flow, right. Then I now come and determine the uh base the worst case economic parameters. So where it says base case economic parameters here, I have to change and put worst case right economic parameters, right? So you just determine these variables in the same way that we have we did the for the base case economic parameters. Okay, so after performing the calculations and of course some formatting, this is what I have now for the worst case scenario. Right, you can inspect the formula on the formula bar there for the IRR 14.59, then NPV 1642.50, which is the same as the now that number that I'm getting. That's the NPV. 990, that's my cash lookup. Also the capital expenditure, then the operational expenditure 742.50. Right, you can just look at the formula there where I'm getting these numbers because I have determined these already. Then the payback period using the same formula that I applied under the base case scenario. So having done this, the next step in now is to determine the best case model. The best case model. So let's straight away build the best case model. Okay, I paused my video and constructed the best case model. So I have the best case CF here. As you can see, under the best case scenario, our revenue would increase by 5% from 100%. So we have a factor of 1.05 for the revenue and a factor of 0.95 for the cost, right? So right, as you can see, you can check, you can cross check the formula there. I just performed the same procedure that I performed under the worst case cash flow, but the only thing that has changed here is I factored in B2 as 1.05 and C2 as 0.95, only that, and everything else has remained has remained. Then my figures also here, you can cross check these figures upon performing your computation. So this is my best case, so this is my best case cash flow. Then I also constructed the best case CCF. For the best case CCF, this is what I got, right? These are the cash flows that I simply extracted from the best case CF. And also I went on to determine the cumulative cash flows. These are the economic parameters for the best case. You can go ahead and cross check if the formula is correct. All right, so after determining the best case model, the worst case model, and the best case model, now my next stage is now to summarize the information, in in graphical format, is just to give some graphs, some visuals, some appealing visuals to investors. So how do you do that? You simply need to come and add a new sheet. You simply come and have to add a new sheet. Let's call this graphical summary, right? Let's call this graphical summary. Right, what we have to do is we come under cell A1. Right, what we need to do is we now need to determine what we call the or some break even analysis, some break-even analysis, Okay, so we now come over here and say yeah. Then we now want BE for break-even for the base case model, then break-even for the worst case model, then break-even for the best case model. So when we do break-even analysis, we always start from zero. So we are starting from year 2018 this time, right? Which would be our year zero. Then 2019, 2020, as we go, right? Up to, we can drag this the same way we did up to 20. Want to take this up to 2036. Want to take this up to 2036. Right, let's see how far we go. Okay, we add two more, right, up to 2036. Okay, then the cash flows there for all these, right, for 2018, that's zero. So we now need to come over here and take the cumulative cash flows that we determined for the best case, the worst case, and also the best case. So it simply equals to best case. I move on to best case CCF, best case CCF for 2019. Okay, I get that one. That's the base case. I simply come and press enter. Okay, I press enter. All right, that's what I get. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and take all the cumulative cash flows. All right. Okay, so you can just have a look at the formula, right? I simply did the same procedure for all the three, right? So I now have this first table. I also need another table. For the economic parameters, right? So I can come and say economic parameter. Then I will start with the base case, move on to the worst case, move on to the best case, right? I'm just going to take I don't need to type the economic parameters. I can take them from anywhere, right? Let me just go under the base case CCF, and pick the values that I have, right? And pick the values that I have. Okay, so this is what I have. So you guys, you now know the trick of just linking these sheets, right? These worksheets. So I now go under the base case CCF. Under the base case CCF, I move on to H. All right. Sorry. All right. I want H. It should be H4. All right, should be H4. All right, I'm going to pause this and do the same for all the for the best case, the worst case, and the best case scenario. Okay, so this is the table that I have for the economic parameters, the summary table, right? Then you now need to do some graphical work, right? I'm sure you are just good at this. Right, I want to come up with a graph for the cumulative cash flows, right? If you check in your probably in some project finance textbooks, they will give you a graph which shows the costs, or which shows the relationship between the costs and the revenue, right? Showing the break-even point, right, which shows the pre-completion phase and also the post-completion phase, where you'll be doing O and M, right? So if I come under insert, okay, I'm using Google Sheets like I told you. you guys, you should do this in Excel, because in the exam you'll be using Excel, right? So this is what I get, right? This is what I get. These are the years 2020 up to, that's the kind of graph that I'm actually getting, right? But I can do a bit of some formatting on my, that is on my on my part, here, right? I have a line graph. I can customize this and probably come and change the position of the right, the the minor, and show the minor, right, grid lines if I want, the minor grid lines, the major tick marks, right? I can also do a lot of things. Even under setup, I can even aggregate to show all the years, right? To show all the years. So this red line, shows is for the what? Is for the worst case scenario. Then the blue line, that's our base case model, right? Then the yellow line there, that's for the best case scenario, right? Okay, all right. So basically this is what we have for this particular graph. Okay, I can just come over here. You can change the title. You can change the title. All right, you can come and change the title. All right, you can come and change the title. I'm not going to do that for now. All right. Okay. Right. Okay, let me come over here. You can do also even quite a number of graphs from this data that we have here. All right, I'm just going to do one other graph for IRR, and just for IRR I can come and do a bar graph for IRR, right? Insert, all right, chart. I'm going to do a bar graph for IRR, right? These would be just some added things, right? As you can see, I have right. Okay, I have to change the chart type here and come up with a bar graph, right? With a bar graph, it's meaningful, so you can compare these bars and comment on what this really means, right? So you need to do some graphical work. That is, if you have time, you still can get uh, more marks for that. Finally, then the final thing that you have to do is to insert a table of contents, probably, right? Let me just do that straight away and say this is the table of contents. Why? Because when I do the marking, all right, let me, okay, straight away, right, come and say table of contents, right? Table of contents. Okay, right. uh Let me just pause the video slightly, then I will show you how this would show up like. Okay, so I can come over here and click insert, then insert link. I want to link the sheets that I have just created. I'm going to start with the graphical summary, right? Then click apply, right? Okay, I come over here, I do the same. So you have to check, if you have to check in Excel, you have to check the actual formula for inserting or for linking these sheets, if you would want to do that in the exam, of course, to earn extra marks. All right, then you go to project details, you click apply, right? You click apply. So right, since I now have the table of contents, what I can do is I can take the table of contents and make it the first, sheet. You simply have to make it to move it to the start. Just drag it to to the start and make it the first sheet. All right, the first sheet, right here before the project details. So this would be this becomes the position. So when I open your work, if I see the table of contents and click under and follow the link under what, under graphical summary, and click where it says graphical summary, um, the system should straight away take me to the page under graphical summary without having to move around. Okay, those are things that will make you get or earn extra marks. Having said this, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Please take your time to revise the work. Take your time to revise the work that we have done today. All right, all the best. Please enjoy. Thank you very much.